Greetings to everyone there out in fandom land, and welcome to the Iceberg Lounge, the inaugural episode of the Iceberg Lounge. What we are is a collaboration of podcasters who want to get together and share our love of DC Comics and other comics and everything that goes on out in the fandom land. So again, welcome to our very first inaugural episode. I am your host, one of your hosts, Eric Holzmann. Let me introduce our other host who will be joining us tonight. First, my co-host from Straight Outta Gotham. You've also heard him on Batman on Film podcast. You've read him on Batman on Film. His name is Peter Verra. Pete, hello.
Hey, what's going on? This is so cool. I am so excited to be doing this. I can't take this is like wow. All right, yeah, let's get to it.
All right.
Because fandom's not exciting enough, but now we're on YouTube Live, so like this is all just insane.
Yeah, let's
it's all nuts.
So and of course,
let's get it going.
All right. We also have joining us from the Let's Go podcast, Mr. Justin Kowalski. Justin?
Hey, my buddies. I'm hanging out with buddies.
Right?
Talking about nerdy stuff. It's really cool, man. I love it. I'm excited about DC Comics, and I'm excited about FanDome.
Yeah. So obviously, we're recording this episode, and we're actually doing this episode for the very first time the night before DC FanDome. It is August 21st. So tomorrow is DC FanDome. We'll get to that in a minute. But I also want to bring in Mr. Emmett Davis, who also is part of the Let's Go podcast and the Let's Go site. He reviews video games and things of that nature. So Emmett, this is our first time talking. So first, hello and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I'm just really excited to be here. Really excited, like Justin said, to talk about DC stuff and DC fandom. Really excited, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. So, that's where we'll begin. We will start with DC FanDome. Obviously, as I just said, it is tomorrow. It was originally supposed to be one 24-hour period with a number of panels, but we got word earlier this week that they will actually be changing it to 2 days. So on the first day we will have, which is tomorrow, we will have the Hall of Heroes, and this is where they will have the panels for all the movies, video games, updates in comics, the CW shows, a lot of DC staff panels as well. So Jim Lee and other staff members will also be hosting specific panels, and it is tomorrow, and it's an 8-hour period. I think it starts at 1 p.m. Out Pacific time, right? Is that? Guys,
1 p.m. Eastern, I think it's for us, okay. And then it's like 10 a.m. Just I don't know,
yeah.
whatever that is.
10 a.m. 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast,
okay.
Which
right.
is the best coast.
Well, that's okay. When you guys can nail pizza, then you can take over the show. Let's just like calm down over there, Bal.
So tomorrow is the first day, and the title for tomorrow is Hall of Heroes. So Pete, first I'll go to you. What's your anticipation for tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I couldn't be more pumped that they split it into 2 different days because there was just no way to follow all this content. You know, like that's the best part about this split is I'm actually gonna get a chance to pay attention to this TV stuff and everything else and the comic book stuff. So like, I'm really, I'm thankful for that. But I mean, tomorrow, just like, it's Batmania between Keaton and Affleck, Pattinson. I mean, it's just you got 3 movies. Whatever. Val Kilmer's going to be there, so maybe there's like some Schumacher cut stuff. So then there's 4 Bat movies. Everyone else has got 1 movie. Wonder Woman's got her film, and Aquaman and Shazam, and Suicide Squad. But Batman's represented like at least 3 times there. So we're going Bat heavy, and I couldn't be more pumped. I mean, it's a big day. It's like Christmas almost. So it's just awesome idea.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of news the past couple of days, that kind of changed everyone's feelings about what's going to happen, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Justin, tomorrow, Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I think the one thing I'm really looking forward to is obviously just the news on the Snyder Cut stuff. I'm excited for that. I feel like it's 2017 again, and I'm excited for Justice League again. I'm like, all right, here's our do-over. You don't get a do-over many times with a movie, and I'm really excited that we get to do that. Plus, Wonder Woman's an enigma for me. I'm just excited to hear, like, how's this thing going to come out? Are they going to finally, are they just going to VOD that thing? I don't know if movies are going to open in 44 days. So I'm hoping we get info on that. And then the wild card is, Affleck, Keaton, Batman stuff, and then and I'm hoping for Matt Reeves to impress me. Like, bring me on board, bro, because I'm standing outside the Batcave.
Oh, he's bringing the heat, baby.
Yeah, and my eyebrows arched. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh,
that red and black looks really nice. The red and black looks really nice.
Hold on, we'll get there. We'll
yeah.
that in a few minutes. We'll get there. So, Emmett, tomorrow, I know, like I said, I mentioned the video games. I know I've seen you tweeting about the video games. So tomorrow is that day. So what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, you said video games, like the first panel, the WB mystery game announcement. That game has been rumored about for seems like forever now. The Court of Owls game. So it'll be nice to get some final confirmation on that, and then it's really exciting to see the Suicide Squad game, which is really exciting for a couple of reasons. Multiple players, multiple different game styles, anything like that. So for gaming wise, having 2 announcements in the same day, that's pretty big news too. So really excited for that.
And are you excited for the other stuff too, the movies and the TV shows and?
Oh, of course, yeah. Like if Affleck coming back is big news on a Thursday, what's the big news on Saturday? Like, that's just crazy. So I look forward to them to one up themselves.
Yeah. That wasn't part of our original conversation when I planned this out. But since it did happen yesterday, with Ben Affleck being announced that he will be returning in Andy Muschietti's Flash film.
Baby.
Yes. So that news coming out was kind of crazy. And it set Twitter on fire yesterday. That's for sure. So we had we are in a text group. A bunch of us are in a text group, and we were pretty much talking about that for most of the day. So we will be looking forward to that. See what happens there. And but back to FanDome really quick. The other day for FanDome, which is pretty much everything else, is called Explore the Multiverse, and that will be happening on September 12th. Same style. It's going to be the same time frame. But it's an on-demand fan experience, and it's broken up into a different bunch of verses. We have the Watch verse, the Kids verse, the You verse, the Fun verse, and the Insider verse. So you guys can check that out. Go to the DCFanDome.com and you can check out the schedule. You can check out what each what each verse is going to be having on the schedule for on September 12th. So yeah, I'm also really looking forward to tomorrow. With all the news we're getting, and now we have all this other. Now we have all this extra fanfare around it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, yeah, enough talking about it. Let's just get to it. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for like a solid month, right? Like, you finally get to FanDome, and it's like it's just on the horizon, and now it's like less than a couple hours away, and you're just like, I wonder, like, I can't wait to see like footage, and I'm so like. I'm pumped for a Snyder Cut. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's also like we've seen Justice League or a Justice League. So like getting the better version. I know it's different, but it's like there's new things on the horizon, like the new Wonder Woman movie I'm pumped for. James Gunn's Suicide Squad I'm pumped for. Just seeing anything from the Batman is really going to get me excited. Like those are the things. I'm pumped for whatever like Snyder brings to the table. Like, I'd love to see his trailer of that movie, just because it's weird how we ended up getting 2 movies out of this stupid Justice League film. But so like take that in hindsight, like that's the only good thing that came out of it is we got 2 movies out of 1. But I'm pumped to see it. Like, I hope it's. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be episodic, or do you think we're going to get like one long, like really like 4-hour movie?
I go back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
I first thought when it came out we were going to get episodes. Now there's been kind of hints or something that it's going to be a movie and may even be released theatrically now.
Really, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's been there. Well, WB is questioning people about would they go see something like that.
Yeah.
So, who knows now? We obviously got the response for it. The fans got, they did a great job, and now they're getting the Snyder Cut. I think that's my most intrigue. The intrigue I have most is for that, just because I want to see how much different it is than the theatrical cut.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun comparing the 2 of them, to be honest. Like, that's. And that Steppenwolf's design is like the first thing that pops to mind, but I'm just wondering, like, is that scene where the Green Lantern dies in Justice League? Is that ring scene where the ring flies away? Is that like Darkseid with his Omega beams? Like, I've always wondered that, just because of the way they like shoots around.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool questions, I guess, like Easter eggs you can kind of put together, and It's I can't believe it's happening. I thought it would happen like maybe 8 years from now, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a little bit of a teaser. Snyder released a little bit of a teaser for FanDome, and
He's got like 2 of them out right now.
Yeah,
too,
one came out yesterday, and then one came out today. So
yeah, I didn't see today's, but I did see yesterday's. And Ray
nothing
Fisher,
really new. Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
the Ray Fisher footage is new.
There was a new shot of the Flash where he was like running through like his like times his I don't know what's it called, Speed Force, and that looked cool. He didn't have like like Ezra had like those weird like flipper hands when he was running in the theatrical cut. So these looked like a little bit more like the blade hands that the Flash is used to.
Well, that's good then. I hadn't seen that, so that's pretty cool that we're getting that. But speaking of Ray Fisher, earlier this week, as we know, Fisher has made allegations against Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Joss Whedon about unprofessional behavior on the set of the theatrical cut of Justice League. Now, he tweeted, I think it was Wednesday as well, that Warner Brothers, after doing their own internal investigation, has now hired a third party to investigate the allegations that he brought against them. So it's a little interesting that this is how it's playing out. Obviously, Warner Brothers, I have to assume they saw something in their internal investigation that warranted an extra set of eyes. So who knows what this is going to happen, but this story doesn't seem to be dying. So at the end of the day, I hope if something did happen, that I hope something is done about it. I hope there's disciplinary action. But I know I've been vocal about this since the beginning. If he's not going to name names, and I haven't heard anyone corroborate the story. So as for right now, I'm still in wait and see mode. That's where I'm at. So Justin, you take this one. What do you think?
Yeah, we did a whole episode 151 of the Let's Go Comic Show where we talked about it to kind of be, you got to be objective in these things. I think it's very easy to say, I'm a fan of Zack Snyder, and so I'm a fan of everybody who's working with him, and I get that. I get like being with somebody, but I also feel like there's a responsibility on every part. The accuser, the person who allegedly did something, and then us as fans, like, we don't know. We're all we're siding with somebody because we want to see their movie, is what it feels like, instead of like, are we siding with someone who was really wronged? And my friend Matt actually said, like, we actually take the humanity of everybody once we start like jumping on a cause, because it's no longer a cause, it's like a side, and it's like, well, hold up, Ray Fisher may have a great he may be telling the truth. I don't doubt that he feels this way. But we have to get to what actually happened. Did Jeff Johns abuse this man, or did these people really let bad things happen? Which I don't doubt. I don't doubt Joss Whedon was a turd on set. What I am saying is, like, where was the abuse? What was the threat? It sounds very like allegedly, because somebody can say something and it can sound like a threat. But was it like a, hey man, if you continue to do stuff like this, Ray, it's going to be really hard for you to work in this town, because is that like a, hey man, just FYI, you're kind of sounding like a baby. And I'm not saying he's a baby, but I'm saying like, or like, this is just, dude, we're in a crunch time here. Just say booyah, do what you got to do, and let's get this film done. Like, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying, was that abuse, or was that was that kind of like, we got to get this done? It's like when you're playing football, your coach is yelling, people aren't going, well, coach called me a name. Like, yo, Ray Fisher, like, what happened? Don't be so vague. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I think there's just a vagueness there, and there's this blind, like, I'm following this guy because I like Zack Snyder. That's what it feels like. Not saying that's everybody. But as I'm watching, again, being objective, because if Jeff Johns did something wrong, homeboy needs to say, hey, I did this, I own up to it, and I'm sorry. And he needs to he needs to rectify it. But he's being dragged over the coals based on what? Because people didn't like what happened with Justice League. You can't destroy a person because you don't like how a movie turned out.
Yeah, I always thought the timing of it was weird too. We heard that the Snyder Cut was coming out, then he started coming out with these allegations. Before that, he didn't say anything. And then he started, after we got news that, yes, they're releasing the Snyder Cut, it's going to be on HBO Max, that's when he started becoming more vocal about what happened on the theatrical cut. So it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting to see how this ends. Pete, we've discussed it a little bit on Straight Outta Gotham, but just at the third-party investigation now, what's your take on this?
I'm still in the same boat I was before. Like, I want to know what's going on. I don't want to hear drips and drabs. I don't know if that makes me sound cold or not, but I just kind of want to know, what's going on, what the deal is, and if I'm not calling Ray Fisher a liar, but like I just want to. It just seems like Justin said vague, and he's doing things in just drips, and I'd rather just find out when it's all said and done after this investigation if something happened. I can start and judging people in the court of public opinion that way, but I don't really know anything to really judge anything. I know Ray Fisher's not happy. He doesn't like the way he was treated, and he deserves to be heard. And whatever this investigation does, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it. But I'm not going to crucify Jeff Johns just yet.
Right. I think that's probably, in my opinion, that is probably the best way to be, and that's how I've been the entire time. I've kind of been like, okay, there's an allegation, but this is America. At the end of the day, in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. So let's wait till all the facts come out.
Not on Twitter.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we also know, yes, in the court of public opinion, all it takes is an allegation, and that's kind of it. In certain respects.
As someone who's a sports fan, like, it's easy to like someone who's a bad person. Like I can't tell you how many athletes I appreciate their athleticism, their competitiveness, but deep down, like I know that person's not a good person. So it's
right.
Like, I've been there. Like I get it. It stinks when you like somebody and you kind of put them on a pedestal, and then all of a sudden you find out they're not a decent human being. So if that's what happens, then that's a bummer. But I'll still enjoy the body of work that they can do. I can separate a person's work from who they really are, because again, like if Jeff Johns is that bad of a person, I mean, I can still enjoy the Sinestro Corps War. I can still enjoy Batman Earth 1. I can still enjoy his run on Teen Titans. I can still enjoy Green Lantern and Flash Rebirth. I just, I probably won't pose with a picture of him at Comic-Con though,
Well, yeah.
Like,
That's fair though. Yeah. I mean, if it does come out,
I'll pick my battles.
Yeah. If it does turn out that this is what happened, then yeah, you kind of have to, they're not good guys. And then, you can appreciate their work and their art, but maybe not, maybe don't think, they're good people. And you don't have that same thought anymore of what you had before. So you did mention Batman. So I'm going to bring up Batman.
Me?
Yes, you did. Wait, I know it's hard to
I don't even. Do I like Batman?
You say?
Batman, you say? Coming for you.
Yes, you did mention him, and as we know, the Batman is coming. Hashtag the Batman is coming.
Oh, the Batman's coming.
So in light of that, in light of FanDome tomorrow, obviously we know we're gonna get some information tomorrow. Hopefully a teaser trailer or something. But Matt Reeves, not wanting to disappoint us, he did give us a little something this week.
Yes,
so we finally got a logo for the Batman, and then we got a really beautiful piece of art by Jim Lee to support it. That
look at that thing.
There we go.
Oh God, when has Jim Lee ever drawn something bad? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
very true.
The guy's a legend, all timer for
that thing is that.
Oh, that suit's
right
great. Check out that collar, by the way. Love that collar.
Yeah, like
it makes the collar look good.
Yeah, like when we first saw the suit, a lot of people were like iffy, but in this picture, it looks really badass. Like I really, really like this rendering. So yeah, so I'm obviously this is just to spark interest and to get us all amped up. Like most of us are, but I feel like because of everything that has gone around this production, where it started with Affleck and switched to Reeves, I feel like there's a lot of different people have a lot of like wait and see, and they're not so into this one yet. There's people have different opinions. I know Justin, you have been pretty vocal about not being so excited for this film yet. So did this stuff yesterday? Did this change any of that?
I mean, I like the drawing that Jim Lee said. I just feel like it's hard for me to get on board without me. I haven't seen anything, and I feel like a section of fandom is like, Matt Reeves is saving Batman. I'm like, we don't know that yet. I mean, I have a lot of like hope that, he's a great director, right? He's got great actors around him, but like, I don't know, a lot of great directors and good actors have made really bad movies. And so I'm in wait and see mode. Now, that being said, seeing this, drawing by Jim Lee's great, but it's also not Matt Reeves' film. It's a drawing by Jim Lee, who's like you said, he doesn't do a bad drawing. He could have drew a picture of George Clooney as Mr. Freeze and it would have looked awesome. So,
amazing.
But then Yeah, but then the logo, they put the logo out and like, okay, I mean, it looks cool. It looks like the same typeface as Joker, which that was interesting. And then that wasn't like that's not a dig. I was just like, okay, they're following kind of that same title treatment, like same thing with like Man of Steel and Dark Knight and stuff like that. They kind of use the same like sans serif typeface, so it was more of a branding thing. But like, yeah, I mean, it's not so far removed from what the Joker typeface looked like as well.
Right.
Not, and I'm not saying they're connected because I don't believe them to be, and that would be really dumb if they were. But yeah, again, I think tomorrow I can answer that question better because this is just a logo. There's a lot of great logos on really terrible films.
And just so everyone knows, too, Justin's very particular about logos, and because it's kind of something he does. So he's kind of very critical on logos, and overall.
That's right.
It's poking a little fun at you there, but. So Pete, what about you? I know we spoke about it briefly.
Dude, so. I am pumped. Like I'm not. Justin's a negative Nancy. He's like, I don't know. I'm questioning. Did I really want this? I love Affleck so much. It's so amazing. He's really Batman for me. Like I mean, it's new. It's fresh. It's a new interpretation. It's a new Batman. It's a new voice. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this. I love solo Batman. That's like my bread and butter. That's my favorite thing in the world. I like the team up stuff. It's okay, but this is like great. I love solo stories. We know nothing about this movie. I can't wait to find out what Zoe Kravitz looks like as Catwoman, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Paul Dano as the Riddler. We're finally. I'm guarantee you this: the Riddler's not going to walk around in spandex covered in question marks. Like I got a feeling we're going to be heavily inspired by animated series. We're going to get the Boulder Cap. We're going to get the sophisticated Riddler. Maybe some Arkham game in there. But I think this is going to be so great, and I love new interpretations of Batman because it's so much fun. Like the ride to the movie is the best part. Just the build up, the anticipation, just the little drips and drabs and the pictures and the stills and the teasers and the TV spots. And it's great. And then the movie comes and then you're just like, oh man, I waited 3 years for this, but this is like, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait.
And you hope
we have been waiting a while.
Yeah, look, Danny DeVito is the greatest Penguin in live action in history. Take that, Rick Shue. And I'm telling you right now, Colin Farrell is going to be damn good too because he did a good job with Bullseye in the Daredevil movie, and that wasn't Ben Affleck's fault either. So I just spent a bunch of generations. I just went old school fanboy on you guys.
that was the weakest tether to anything ever.
That was the rant, guys. We had one. Now we have.
He was good in a terrible movie. He can be good, and he's got a real director in his hands. Matt Reeves. He's never directed a movie I haven't liked. I like Cloverfield for crying out loud, and that's been as shaky as Blair Witch. So I
love Cloverfield.
Oh, it was fantastic. Let Me In was great. Obviously everyone brings up his Apes movies, and you should because they're fantastic.
Yes.
But I'm just excited. I like everything that Matt Reeves has done, so I'm pumped. And like I said, there's a great cast around him. We didn't even talk about John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. We didn't even bring that up. He kind of gets lost in there. And Jeffrey Wright is Gordon. This is an A-list cast. It's phenomenal. And I just, not to say the last movie didn't, because the BVS had an amazing cast, and Justice League, the cast is great. We all admit we love the cast in that movie. That's not the problem there. So we've been on a hot streak for DC films for a long time.
There you have it, guys. They don't.
I'm pumped.
Warner Brothers needs to just hire Pete to do all of the promotion for this movie because you hear his energy in his voice.
He's like, you know why it's going to be great? Because Colin Farrell was Bullseye and he was amazing.
He was a badass villain in a horrible movie, and come on.
I never miss. That
was great.
Powerhouse cinema.
More peanuts.
That's for a different show. I have a different take on that, but that's for a different show. We're not going to go down that road. So you brought up Ben Affleck. We started talking about this before. So yes, Vanity Fair reported yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Might have been. Yeah, it was yesterday. Right? Vanity Fair reported yesterday that Ben Affleck, as I mentioned before, will be reprising his role as Batman for the Flashpoint film starring Ezra Miller. He's joining Michael Keaton's Batman as well, who was announced earlier this summer, and who is expected to take over the role in this version of the DC multiverse. I'm going to call it the multiverse. So this news, as we said before, it really shut down the internet. definitely the fandom internet. It was very, we all know there's a very large vocal majority who loves Ben Affleck in the role, and I'm one of those people. I do love him in the role.
I agree.
So,
I love him.
yeah. So this obviously was big news yesterday and something a lot of people have been waiting for. But since all three of us, I think pretty much said at one point or another publicly that we did not think this was going to happen, and we never thought he'd be Batman again.
Oh, I didn't.
No way. Not after.
I didn't think he was coming back. Like
no way.
No way. We'd make jokes together, and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, he's coming back." But in my heart of hearts, I was like, I don't think this guy's coming back. I mean, he said he's done, and I'm not that guy. This if I watch BVS on HBO Max, they're gonna make a Batman show. I'm not that guy. I live in reality. I'm like, as much as I want something, doesn't mean it's gonna happen. So that's why I was so surprised. I was like, wait, you got to be kidding me. This is happening. And so, man.
Yeah, I have to say, of all of us in the text chat that we have, Justin was the most excited of all. I think.
Yeah. I mean, what was that one article that was written where it was like he asked his buddies, like, "What do you think about this?" And it's like, "Well, you could do this movie, but I think it'll kill
yourself to death."
Yeah, you'll drink yourself to death. And I'm like, well, knowing his history and his struggles with addiction, you're just kind of like, maybe this isn't the right move for Benji. But this seems to be kind of a small role. It doesn't seem like he's going to be in the. I attribute it to like this is right from like directly from Flashpoint. Like, we're going to begin the movie with Ben Affleck for like maybe 20 minutes to a half hour, and then the Flash is going to do something in time, like the Flash usually does,
right?
And he's going to end up in front of Keaton in the cave, and then we got Michael Keaton for the next hour and 40 minutes.
He's like
that's kind of how I envision
Batman.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you got old.
Shorter.
I can't tell you how much cooler of an idea this is for me as a Batman fan, but as a cinematic Batman fan, to bring back Keaton and totally just replace Thomas Wayne Batman. I'm always one who gets worried about the general audience getting confused. So this is great because they're like, oh wait, why are they bringing Keaton back? It sparks so much interest. It's such a great idea. And I mean, I was one who was against a Flash movie without the Rogues.
Oh, what do you mean replace Thomas Wayne Batman? Like, are you talking about from the comic book?
Yeah, I think Keaton's character is going to play the Thomas Wayne Batman role from the Flashpoint book.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I think that's what it is, and I think it's a genius thing to replace that character with Keaton's Batman. And you could do it. I mean, what is Thomas Wayne other than like an old grizzled 5 o'clock shadowed Batman? Like Keaton can do that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I think when we heard about Keaton early in the summer, I was really excited. He's my favorite guy to ever play Batman. So I was very excited. And now getting Affleck, who was arguably my second favorite person to play Batman. This movie is getting, I was interested in it before, and now I'm getting more and more interested in it as we get more information. Yeah. So I always liked that storyline. I do like the Flashpoint storyline. So I'm going to be interesting. Great. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, man, Ben Affleck is back as Batman, maybe, right? We're not sure if he's really going to be in the cape and cowl yet.
The article had Batman.
I think it's Bruce Wayne. I think he makes a Bruce Wayne cameo.
I think he's Batman too. I think he's in it. I think him and Flash are going to have a little mini adventure in the beginning of the film. And he's going to be like, remember how I taught you?
I wish they would catch a Flash rogue. Like, I don't necessarily need the Flash help Batman capture, I don't know, Firefly. But if Batman can help the Flash capture the Top or like Captain Cold.
No way. It's Batman and Flash, and they're capturing Captain Cold and Mr. Freeze together.
That'd be awesome. Sure, fine. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I just wrote the movie.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
they're robbing like, I don't know, some kind of diamond heist because it takes the diamonds to cool down Freeze's suit.
You see, guys, we're getting now. We're writing the script. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this Flash movie starring 2 Batmans.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like Batman really took over FanDome. Like how many parts things is he in? And whatever Val Kilmer has to do, like what, dude? Icing on the cake would be they released the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. That's just another Batman thing. Like, dude, AT&T is going to run that well dry.
Oh yeah,
Batman is #1, and everyone knows it because he's got 3 appearances in films coming out in FanDome. We're going to get 3 trailers.
Yeah, they'd be crazy not to. He is obviously, as we know, he's DC's most popular character, so be crazy not to do as much as they can, especially since people want it. People want the Schumacher cut. People wanted the Snyder cut. People,
And Superman is nowhere to be found.
That's kind of the sad part right now.
It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
He's almost forgotten. Like, think about it. Like, the Hulk gets more attention than Superman does, and the Hulk is literally like the cameo king of the MCU.
Yeah, but that seems like that's the role they're setting up for Superman. At least if you believe the reporting. So,
hey, there's some surprises still left for fandom.
Hey, dude, Man of Steel 2 gets announced. I'm all for it. If Cavill's in the Black Adam movie, I'm all for it. If we finally get to see the lunch scene between Shazam, Freddy, and Superman, like, I'm all for that too. If that's how Shazam 2 opens, great.
Yeah, they pan back and it's Cavill.
Yeah, it's Cavill. Like, that'd be great because
but he has a beard.
Sandberg loves to troll. Oh, that'd be awesome. And a mullet too. Give him a mullet while you're at it. It'd be great. While Superman's sitting down eating a chicken patty with some 2% milk.
So,
talk about your great American Boy Scout.
Right?
Oh, there you go. Bring him back.
School lunches. Bring back memories right there. All right, guys. So tomorrow, as we've already said, is the first day of DC FanDome. And we all obviously are going to be watching. So I didn't ask this before, but I'll ask now. What of all the panels outside of the Batman? I don't want to bring that one in, and the Snyder Cut. Of all the other panels that are available,
the two biggest things.
Well, what else do you guys want to see? Like, what else do you guys? What are your if you look at the schedule? Which one? Teen Titans Go? Oh, that's not surprising.
No, the Suicide Squad. That's actually my wild card. That's the one I shared with you guys. That's the one I'm most excited about. So I'm like, man, what's James Gunn gonna do? There's so much built into the Suicide Squad. Like, it happened. It was such a big get. It was like, oh shoot, fired off of Guardians 3. Couple months later, Suicide Squad 2 or whatever, or the sequel that's not a sequel that has the whole entire cast of the first movie. What is going on with this film? And so I think, hey, look at that! Look at that beautiful logo.
Look at that logo.
This movie's already had 2 logos, 2 official brandings. Hasn't even come out yet.
Keep you guessing.
Yeah, I think I preferred the last version of the logo, but whatever. It's all good.
Here we go again, folks. The logo.
Yeah, I know. It reminds me of the
make the logo bigger.
The John Ostrander series from the 80s. Like, that one was more of a throwback to that, but this one's good as well. I like both. I mean, but I'm looking forward to what James Gunn's doing. That cast is phenomenal. There's been a few leaked photos you may have seen in the last few months. Like, I saw a Harley one. So yeah, man, I just love it. Excited.
For me, I'm all about Wonder Woman 84. I can't wait to see what Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot have in store for us. It's funny because, like, all 4 of us, including our producer on the other side of glass, Nick Persicilli, we all went to the Batman on Film watch party, and we all watched it together. So we were all down there. And real quick shout out to After Hours Media, BJ Herring, Nick Persicilli, and Damien Santucci for help putting this program together. Couldn't do it without those guys. They work their magic, and that's fantastic. But Wonder Woman 84 is really what I'm really, really looking forward to. And anything to come out of the Aquaman panel. I'm a huge Black Manta fan. I'd love to hear more about Manta and just what upgrades. And I'd love to see Manta try to take down Aquaman in his sub. Like, that would be cool. I mean, anything about that movie would be interesting to me. And because Aquaman's rogues gallery is not so deep, so I always wondered, like, after Manta and Aquaman 2, like, what happens?
Get it? Not deep.
you got Ocean Master in the first movie, and then and Black Manta in the second. So where do we go from here? So that's kind of interesting, and I'm always interested to see. Maybe Jabberjaw, right? But they did a crossover.
Yeah, put King Shark in there. I bet you get Aqualad. You get Jackson.
That'd be cool.
It's got ties to Black Manta. So
yeah, I mean, it's his kid, so, like, I'm all down for it. Whatever, but James Wan is very creative, and I'd love to see what kind of crazy monsters he comes up with. Just like concept art, that would be fun. But yeah, so Wonder Woman and Aquaman 2.
Cool. For me, it is probably the world's most electrifying entertainer. Will be taking on the role of Black Adam. That being Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That is the panel I am interested in because I literally don't. I don't think any of us really know much about anything of this film.
Not at all.
Right?
Nada.
So, right. So
Oh, look
yes,
at that. Look at that
there
beautiful
he
drawing.
is.
Another
There
Jim
he
Lee
is.
drawing.
More Jim Lee artwork. Like, geez.
Yes. Yeah. So I am really looking forward to that panel, mostly because he's just great no matter what he does. So listening to him talk is always going to be fun. But I really want to see if we get anything concrete from this film. If we get any news that's going to about the plot, or maybe more people are announced, more actors are announced, more cast members. So that's probably all the other stuff you guys talked. Yes, I'm interested in as well. But for me, because this one is so we don't know much about it at all, I want to see what comes out of FanDome tomorrow.
And The Rock is so busy. Like, he makes so many movies. He comes out with it seems like 3 movies a year. So like this movie's kind of been put on the back burners for a while. So I'm really pumped. But I can't wait to see The Rock with pointy ears.
And
I think he'll be a great Black Widow.
Shows. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an HBO show too. It's just he's so busy.
Yeah. So let's see what the Rock. Let's see if we can smell what The Rock is cooking tomorrow and get some information from him on Black
I hope he
Adam.
walks out and asks everybody, "Do you guys like pancakes?" And then that's an old school rock.
Yes, it is.
Oh man.
So, all right, guys. So we're pumped for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, just so the rest of you guys know, tomorrow night after FanDome, after the Batman panel, we will be again having a live broadcast, and we will be doing a rundown of the day's events. And we'll, hopefully we can have some interaction. Maybe you guys can give us some questions, whatever. But I'm looking real forward to that as well tomorrow. So I want all you guys to enjoy FanDome first, and then come listen to us and how we break it down for you.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it is going to be amazing.
It's going to be utterly amazing. It really is.
And then, again, as Pete mentioned, a big shout out to the guys from After Hours Media, BJ and Nick, on the other side of the glass. They are our super producers, and they can be your super producers too. So if you guys want any information, how they can maybe produce something for you or help you out doing something similar to what we're doing, drop any of us a line. We can get it to them, and we'll get you guys in touch. So, okay, guys. So now is the time we always have where we plug things. So, Pete, do you have anything to plug?
Follow me on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Zack Snyder's favorite, Vero, at Pete Illustrated. I've got various reviews of toys and action figures and comic books up on BatmanOnFilm.com. Don't forget to check out my podcast that I co-host with the great Eric Holzmann, the champion of Long Island, at straight_O_G, both Twitter and Instagram. And make sure to hit the like and subscribe button of this YouTube channel so you get these notifications of the Iceberg Lounge and when we go live and all that good stuff.
Okay, Justin.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at J_Rocca, or you can follow the podcast, Let's Go Podcast and Let's Go Comic Show. All those are at www.letsgopodcast.com. Put shows out every day, almost, or content every day. Like there's reviews for TV shows, movies. We do like beer, pop culture pairings on Fridays. Whole bunch of fun stuff. So if you're into, comics and you like movies and stuff like that, I think we'd be a fun show for you to follow. And this Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm putting my review out for Jeff Johns' is 3 Jokers with Jason Fabak. And it's a beautiful looking book, and the story is crazy, y'all. You guys aren't ready. I wish I could talk about it, but it's a spoiler if I do. It's so good. So
I gotta wait for the floppy.
Oh man, look for that on Tuesday or Wednesday on letsgopodcast.com.
Nice.
Okay. And yes, guys, you can also find me on Twitter at Finale33. It's spelled Finale33. Same on Instagram as well. And as Pete already mentioned, the Straight Outta Gotham Twitter handle as well, straight_O_G. Pete and I both monitor that account. So if you get an answer, you can kind of guess which one of us it is. That's always the fun way to. It's always the fun way to do it. So again, tune in tomorrow night, guys, again for the recap, the FanDome recap show. It should be starting around 9:30 Eastern time, give or take. But that's the tentative time right now. So look for us around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And in closing, for Pete, Verra, Justin Kowalski, and Emmett Davis, I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties. We'll get you back next time. I am Eric Holzmann. This is the Iceberg Lounge. See you next time.
Iceberg Lounge.